everyone, it's Lauren J. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I like to do get ready with me style videos using products that are new to me, just need a little bit more love in my collection. Today I am going to continue to be inspired by summer gardens, and so if you're interested in what I come up with, please keep watching. I spent yesterday in a botanical garden with my mom, and it was a beautiful sunny day. Today is a little bit less sunny, it's a little bit gloomy, but that's okay. I'm just gonna sit down and do my makeup and be inspired by the colors that I saw yesterday. So obviously you think summer garden, you think green. Last week I was more inspired by blues. This week I'm a little bit more inspired by greens. So we're going to play with that a little bit. We're going to play with the idea of orange daylilies blooming. I have a ton of those in my front yard. So I get a lot of orange in the summertime. And so I'm just gonna play off that theme a little bit and see what I come up with. I'm gonna be using a lot of my Chanel products that I already have. Not much very new, a few from the Camellia Futura collection. But first of all, I have done my skincare and my sunscreen. I've done my brows, I have primed my lids, and I have primed my face. So what I'm going to start with is two of the Stylo Ombre et Contours. So the color crayons from Chanel. I am going to be using Attaya. This is from last year's summer collection, and then I'm going to be using Vert Titanium from this year's Camellia Futura collection. So I'm going to be using Attaya in the outer corner. This is just to give some definition to the outer corner and a little bit of a crease shade. I'm not trying to use too much. But again, just being inspired by the color of orange daylilies, a little bit by the color of the koi in the pond. Koi have so many beautiful colors, white and deep orange and gray and black and a little bit of red. One of my local botanical gardens, it's kind of this hidden little garden that I don't like to tell people about, but it's got a great big beautiful pond full of these incredibly lively koi, and they're just so fun and beautiful to visit and just stand on the bridge and watch them. And as a Pisces, I guess I understand why I'm really drawn to that. Doing a little bit more to emphasize the color again, just not too deep, but just want to get a little bit more color in there. And this is just a big fat Real Techniques blending brush. It's more like for concealer, but I haven't used it that way in a real long time, so. Then we're going to go in with Vert Titanium. Again, this is from the Camellia Futura collection. It is this beautiful light green with a lot of silver in it. And that's going to be our all over base shade. And I think these contrast really nicely with each other. I'm just experimenting. I don't think I've actually used these colors together before, but just putting them together right now and the idea that I had in my head, I felt like these would go really well together, even if one is more like gold and one is more silver, so cool and warm. I just feel like they do complement each other. Again, not going too heavy on the color, but this one is very sparkly anyway. And then just to emphasize that green a little bit, I'm going to go in with Vert Lagon. This is one from the Color Match collection. This is the waterproof liner, and it did come out this year. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that here. Just the faintest hint. Not even going all the way across. Just the faintest hint of that green. It's a really beautiful jewel tone green. And again, color match collection, spring, summer of this year. As a topper, I'm gonna go into the Utopia Le Quatrom, the quad. And I am going to use that beautiful light shimmer shade. It's this beautiful wet look shimmer. As you can see, it's just a barely there, super shiny shade, and I'm just gonna tap that on top on the center of the lid. Just to amp up the sparkle a little bit. And you can use any of your sort of wet look shimmers for this. The one in the Rivage palette has a little bit more of a blue tinge to it. That would also work beautifully, I think. This one is not quite as piecey as that one. That one is a little bit more, you can definitely see the larger shimmers in it. This one is not quite like that, but it's not super different, but it does have the beautiful pink twist to it, which I think goes really well with this look. That one has more of a purpley. But there are lots of lovely shimmers like that in many. In the Lorac Pro palettes has a lot of beautiful wet look shimmers. Viseart has a lot of beautiful wet look shimmers. They're a little bit rarer for Chanel, although they've been doing them much more frequently in the Le Quatrom palettes, but they're a little bit more limited edition. And then to finish off and define the line, I'm going to go into Gris Graphite, the waterproof liner. Just connect that out. Just the idea of that silver gray inspired by the spots on the koi. But also just looking a little bit more diffused. Okay, so I'm gonna try again something a little bit different today, and you don't need that many products. I'm using a lot of products today than I would normally use, so I wouldn't say this is a simple look, but it is. I'm just playing with my items that I already have. So I'm gonna take the Fluide Enlumineur in Halo from the Camellia Futura collection, and then I'm gonna take my Le Beige Healthy Glow highlighting fluid in Sunkissed, and I'm just going to mix them together. I'm just gonna put like very little pump of each. So I'm going to shake them both up. I'm going to take the Sunkissed first and just the smallest, hopefully a little bit, just a little bit. And then the Halo, just the smallest bit right on top of that. See? And I am just gonna mix those two together and we're gonna see how this goes. And that's what we have. So I am just going to tap that on underneath everything as a highlight. You could also tap this on afterwards because I'm trying something new. I'm kind of gonna put it on, so if I need to cover it up, I can, but you'll still have that little bit of glow. But again, these products are beautiful for illumination, and you don't need a very whole lot of them. And then the Le Correcteur de Chanel in B10. This is the concealer. And I am feeling lately like I have fewer spots to cover up, which is kind of nice, because sometimes it feels like my skin is actually healing from everything I put it through during the week, whether that's makeup, weather, going in and out of air conditioning into the heat, going into humidity, just touching my face too much, scratching, itching. But sometimes it feels like it reaches a nice little equilibrium every now and then, and it's like, oh, I like that. I don't really even need anything on it today. And of course I do my skincare every day, and of course the most important part of that for me is my sunscreen. I feel like that's really the thing that has kept my skin, especially my face, very, very protected from a lot of the environmental factors. Going in with the Le Beige Water Fresh tint, just to blend that all out and give a little bit more hydration. This is in medium light, as per usual. For cheeks, I'm going to go into the No1 de Chanel Lip and Cheek Balm. This one is in 8 Ardent Brick, so it's that more brownish red, one of the colors that came out more recently. And I'm just going to put that on the cheeks. Because I like that little bit more terracotta idea for this look, but also just not too deep, a little bit softer. And this formula works very well for just blending that out. It doesn't really tend to get stuck. And then just a little bit on the lips. Just the tiniest bit to give just a little bit of color. And then on top of that, again, I know I'm playing with things, I'm mixing things, I'm using more products than I normally would. That's okay, it's a makeup play day. I'm gonna go into Mermaid Glow. This is the Baume Essentiel. This came in the Spring 23 collection, the beautiful Seaside collection. It is a beautiful sparkly balm, and I'm just gonna use that as a highlight because it does have more of those particles that catch the light. All right, I went and added my mascara to all of that and put on my jewelry, took down my hair, and then we are going to add the lip, which is going to be the Avant-Gardiste. So this is the Shimmery Rouge à Lilac from the Camellia Futura collection, and it's pretty transparent, and I feel like it's going to go really beautifully with this look. It goes on a little bit orangey pink, but it kind of just dries down. Dries down to this beautiful just sheen on your lips, and it is one of the Rouge à Lilac, so it doesn't really dry down per se, but you do have that shimmer left on your lips. When the rest of the color fades away. So that is today's look, inspired again by summer gardens and my favorite inspirations for summer walks and just getting outside and feeling inspired by everything around me. I really enjoy my time in nature because it just makes me feel very peaceful and thoughtful, or even just helps me not think about things, and that's okay sometimes too. We all need our little moments of stress-free time. So I hope you enjoyed this look. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Any of those would be welcome. All of them will be deeply, deeply appreciated. And I will see you in the next one.